Yeah, so once again, the game is letting you kind of re-equip your party, because all of a sudden, Barret, Aerith, and Red is our party. So they're like, okay, you want a moment to go ahead and re-equip your materia? Because you're probably going to want to re-equip your materia. I just find that so weird, because this never really happens again after this. We're gonna go ahead and do that, because we're definitely gonna need to re-equip our materia here. Oh, god damn it. Whoa! Weak against Holy. Oops, didn't mean to do whatever caused that to happen. Yeah, that's the one thing about limit breaks that you can't choose to just do a normal attack. You can't be like, no, I don't want a limit break, I want to do a regular just bop him in the face attack. It doesn't really let you do that. That's a little bit annoying. I understand why, but sometimes I want to save my limit break for later. This is such a cool moment. How fucking cool is that? You understand exactly what's happening and what that means. So now we're literally having a boss fight on this elevator. Is that not the coolest shit? I'll just go ahead and use her limit break. Think about, like, again, this is something that it leaves so much to the imagination, and that's to its benefit. Because they're literally having a boss fight against this robot gun thing on the other elevator across from them. So look at this. Because he's over on the opposite elevator, Aerith and Red can't attack him. Only Barret can attack him because he has a gun. He has a ranged weapon. Oh, I should have given the lightning. Oh, damn it. I should have given the lightning to Red, honestly. Poor Red's really fragile because he's so new to the party. And again, how interesting is that? That Red has just been put in the party and he's already been part of 2 forced boss fights. This is the second boss fight where we have no choice but to use Red as part of the main party. They really want to, like, the story's kind of like going out of its way to, like, encourage you, force you, really, to use Red. And again, think about how that makes you feel about Red as a character, right? Only 200 left. So that's 2 lightning bolts, really. I don't wish the game did this more often, but I think it's interesting that the game doesn't do this more often. Where it kind of forces you to use weird, non-standard party, configurations, party configurations like this, with fucking Aerith and Barret and Red. What an unusual party. Oh, I forgot about this part. Because after this, it's kind of always in your control. It's never really imposed on you like, this is what your party is. A party that does not include the main character. Even later, after, like, Cloud isn't really part of the party, it's still up to you who is in the party. It's still not, like, forced on you, like, these are the characters that you have to use for this boss fight now. This is such a cool fucking set piece of a boss fight. Midgar is just the land of set pieces. This whole final part after getting Red, the game just becomes like very cinematic in terms of its presentation. I really like it. Don't shoot the white mage, bitch. How dare you? That just seems inefficient. Aerith, you bitch, wake up. Aerith! What good timing? Ah, I guess not. Oh, that was a nice snap. What happened, guys? And then we cut back to the Dante and Virgil fight. And again, it's like, oh, by the way, you're probably gonna wanna redo your loadout. Man, I can never remember. That's fine. It's not a hard fight. Again, think about this from Rufus's perspective. I find that line very interesting. Because Cloud ain't cool with Sephiroth. Sephiroth just killed this guy's dad and wants the same thing that the Shinra wants, or at least doesn't want Shinra to have it as far as we know. So I do think it's kind of interesting that Rufus was keeping a perspective of like, maybe we both want the same thing, maybe not. But now the boss fight ensues. And Rufus brought his cool pet dog to be a part of it. Oh shit, a shotgun. That's fucked up. I love this set piece. Look at the fucking helicopter in the background. That's so rad. Rufus literally brought his fucking pet dog to be a part of the boss fight with him. That's so fucking cool. Aw, you're dead now. I killed your dog, Rufus. How does it feel, Rufus, to be a bitch? All your attacks are doing to me is building my limit break, you fucker. Exciting battle. Exciting turn-based combat. Weird face. Once again, a boss fight with a human ends with him leaving. We don't actually kill. We don't actually kill any boss fights against a human. Well, that happened. Guess we're out of here. Time to blow this popsicle stand. And the boss music keeps playing. Isn't that such a great detail? This is getting complicated. Let's bail. Longest elevator ride in history. Yeah, once again, I don't feel bad about comparing things to Shakespeare or in terms of a theater play where off-screen the battle with Macbeth is going on in the background. The building is surrounded by the Shinra army right now. Barrett-san. Or Barrett-sam, I don't know what that was probably in Japanese. You're cold, man. Hey guys, we ran down the stairs. I'm really, really tired. Come on, we're gonna have a cool set piece. Let's go. Hurry, hurry. Yeah, so this is kind of a weird part. I don't really get why the money got spent on this or where this came from, but it is really cool. I don't know where Cloud got the motorcycle. Everyone pile in. Woo! Cloud, how is it that, by complete accident, sometimes you are such the coolest dude? Yeah, so here's a weird fucking out-of-place minigame. Are you ready for weird out-of-place minigames? I'm ready. I'm always ready for weird out-of-place minigames. Ignore that. It's not important right now. Oh, I think... No. I don't think Tifa has anything on her. Anyway. Let me double check. Yeah, okay. Get ready for this isn't this the weirdest fucking shit? It looks cool though, right? Fuck you. I love the PlayStation. This is such a like, oh, we gotta show off the cool shit the PlayStation can do. There's always that moment where in games like this where it's like, oh yeah, this was kind of supposed to be a tech demo, right? That's why Sonic Adventure had fucking a fishing minigame. This is such a tech demo moment of let's show off the cool shit the PlayStation hardware can do. Fuck you, Nintendo. We don't need to be part of your fucking cartridge-based bullshit anymore. We have disc-based technology with the PlayStation. Look at how cool a PlayStation is, you guys. The game is not, this is not going to be the last weird, out-of-place minigame that we're gonna have to deal with in this game. It is probably my favorite one, though. God damn it. Piss off. Leave my friends alone. It does really add to this sense of, like, this is a good send-off for Midgar and its role in the story at this time. This really does feel like a big, like, oh shit, like, the getaway moment in a heist, the getaway scene in a heist movie, right? Fuckers. It is really jarring if you're not expecting it and haven't played the game before, of course. Oh shit. Oof. And I remember playing through this game some years ago. And when was it? 2017, 2018? And being like, cheap shot. And being like, wow, the remake is going to suck ass. It really was this boss fight, and after that gameplay sequence with the motorcycle, that I was like, ooh, that remake is not gonna be good. This is gonna be a bad remake, you guys. I don't know what it is, but like something about just like the wild freedom and creativity on display. The freedom that they had with the freedom of having less technology available to them. The freedom of not having as much of a budget allowed them to make something that fucking crazy. That, like, wild and unexpected and experimental. That I think there is, like, a motorcycle chase in fucking the remake, but there's like 2 of them, and it's weird. Like, you get a motorcycle chase earlier in the game when Avalanche is still a part of the story. Like, you're on a motorcycle chase with Jesse, and it's there to be a tutorial moment for when you get the actual important motorcycle chase here at the end of the Midgar section. And it's just so weird. And it's so bad. But even back then, when all we had was a 2-minute trailer going, yes, we're making it, we swear. Even back then, I was like, there's no way a remake is gonna be fucking any good. Because there's no way you can do this moment, this boss fight, that sequence of gameplay, whoa, wow, with the technology and budget of the modern games industry. You can't do something this wild and creative and free that they did on the PlayStation 1. You can't do that anymore. The technology and the budget and the production values just aren't there to allow this kind of thing anymore. And even back then, like years and years ago, I was like, it's gonna be bad. And I was right. Yeah, Red got the final hit. My boy. I love this moment. What a good cinematic moment. I don't know why I keep saying cinematic. What a good moment for the story to be like, to reassess its priorities. Because again, Sephiroth has just hijacked the plot. Now all of a sudden the only thing Cloud and cares about is Sephiroth, and Shinra now reprioritizes its focus as well, from being the big main driving antagonist to also playing catch-up to Sephiroth. So this is a good moment for the characters to reassess their motivations and kind of figure out where things are going from here. And of course, the main villain's kind of getting replaced by some other force, some other antagonist, isn't new even to Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VI did something like this also, where halfway through the story, the evil emperor got supplanted and Kefka became the main driving antagonist at that point going forward. So even in terms of what this game is doing, where it's like going, oh shit, the rug got pulled out from others, it has been done before, but the context is still very different. In Final Fantasy VI, it happened halfway through the game, and it was a complete restructuring of everything about that game. After that moment, the entire world map of the game changed. And the plot became a lot more open and freeform, and you had a lot more choice in what you wanted to do going forward. Whereas up until that point, it had been fairly linear. And we already knew who Kefka was, and the hints that there was more to him than what we had been shown already up until that point were being laid. So it made sense for if they were going to do what they did, it made sense for Kefka to kind of take over as the main antagonist. But it's still very different, because this is at the beginning of the game. We're still on Disc 1. We're not even halfway through Disc 1. This is a quarter of the way through Disc 1. And we still haven't even seen Sephiroth. Sephiroth still hasn't even made an on-screen appearance yet. So it's still very different, and it still does kind of play with your expectations, and it is still original and new in how it's executed. So up until this point, things have been pretty touch and go with our main party, which I really like. The reason the main party has been together up until this point has been happenstance. Really. Like, Avalanche no longer exists. Jesse, Wedge, and Biggs are dead. And there still hasn't really been a moment for Barrett to reassess what that means for him and Avalanche as an organization. So, like, he's assured that Marlene is safe, so now he's still kind of running on fumes. Like, his antagonist, the president of Shinra, has been killed off-screen. So he doesn't really... He's kind of drifting. He's kind of drifting in the wind right now, and he's going like, okay, well, I'll go with you. A, for lack of anything else to do, and B, because all he can cling to is, I gotta protect the planet at this moment. And then Aerith wants to learn more about her backstory. She's never been outside of Midgar before. She has no experience with the outside world, but all of a sudden, all of this shit with her backstory as a member of the Ancients, and the Promised Land coming into focus, and Sephiroth wanting to pursue the Promised Land, all of a sudden the doors have been opened for her to finally learn more about herself. So she's coming along because she's like, hey, if I follow you and whatever Sephiroth's got going on, I'll learn more about the Promised Land and more about my own destiny as an Ancient. And Tifa's tagging along just because she's sticking with Cloud. Tifa's sole and only motivation throughout the entire game is Cloud. And then Red's coming too because, well, he was trapped in a lab. But he's homeward bound. So he's like, hey, better to stick with a group. It's still a long way off. I'll stick with you until we get to my stop on the bus route, right? But Red was only really with us because, like, he was kidnapped and experimented on in that lab. And now he's like, well, okay, you busted me out. I want to go home. I'll stick with you until we get back home. To my home. So he's, more than anyone else, is really just a party member of convenience at this point. And again, Tifa is just clinging to Cloud. That's her only motivation. How freaking out must Aerith be right now? She has never seen the fucking sky before. She's a slum girl. She lived beneath the plate. This is the first time Aerith has ever seen the fucking sky. The most immediately thrown under the bus. Calm. So the town is called Calm because we need a moment to chill out after the big explosive cinematic action set piece of like 4 boss fights back to back and then a big minigame escape sequence. We need a moment to calm down, everyone. So we're going to Calm. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Cloud, Aerith, and Red 13 is my party. This is the party I do the whole game with. If I have a choice.